What's up, YouTube? It is day 2 of official quarantine for us here in Texas, in North Texas, and I figured why not get in the garage, do a quick video on the Pantera. Somebody had emailed and asked a question about when am I going to get it finished, so I'm going to kind of show you the progress that I've made so far, and then you'll get an understanding of what's left to do. There's not really much left. It's just knick-knack little stuff, still waiting on some parts, but other than that, I mean, everything's here, ready to go, so let me show you what I'm working with. I'm sure I covered this in an earlier video, but when I got this car, it did not have a parking brake that was working. So through some research, I found a company that makes this little parking brake that bolts on the back side where the original caliper could have bolted. So there's actually 2 mounting points. The calipers could bolt on the front or the back side on this car. So I've got my caliper on the front. It is an aftermarket Willwood disc brake system. And I've got my parking brake mounted back here. This was actually originally made for a Dodge Viper, and it's been adapted to fit the Panteras. You just send in your width of your disc, and the guy makes them to your specific application. They came out really, really nice. All billet aluminum, anodized. It's even got the Pantera logo on it. I need to fix the cable. So the cable I got for this, they make 2 versions. They make a long and a short. Well, obviously I needed the short. Well, guess what showed up in the mail? The long. So I had to cut it and modify it a little bit. It pulls, it stretches just a little bit too much. So I really need to get in there and adjust that cable a little bit more to get it to grab, but at least it holds somewhat finally, and I do have a parking brake. I decided to replace all of the tubes for the cooling system underneath the car. Now's a great time to do that since everything is apart. And I ordered a whole kit. These are the stainless tubes. They're not polished, but that's okay. You know, they're going to be underneath the car, but they won't rust, thank goodness. When I pulled the tubes out of the car, it was just filled with just nasty radiator fluid, orangey, rusted, just gross stuff. So really looking forward to having this whole kit put in, and I even went and ordered some really nice silicone tubing in blue to connect all these tubes, so it's really going to look sharp underneath there. Unfortunately, no one's ever going to see it unless it's up on a lift, but just knowing that it's not going to rust and it's going to last for a long time. So, you know, do it right the first time, you won't have to worry about it ever again. As you can see, everything's stripped out, ready to go. I scraped all of the crud off the frame rails, and the white that you're seeing is actually the white that was original to this car. This entire car came from the factory as a white car. It was painted this Lexus color, I believe back in 2009. I'm gonna get the firewall cleaned up. I'm going to get the side areas just cleaned up a little bit more. I'm not going to completely tear all this down to the metal. I don't need to go that far with it. I'm trying to get this thing back on the road as soon as I can and enjoy this car. So I don't want to have a project that's torn down for a year or 2. I'd rather drive my stuff than work on it. While I'm back here, I'll show you guys the headers. So check that out. very short headers to a very short exhaust, no mufflers. It comes just straight out the back right here, and they tuck really nicely right here. That's what makes this car so loud. I love it. It sounds amazing. Now, it is a little loud in the cabin when you're trying to drive and have a conversation with someone sitting next to you, but you know, that's the price you pay, I guess. I'll pay that all day long. Today, while I'm out here, I'm gonna work on getting the frame rails coated in that back section there where the motor's gonna sit, and I'm gonna finish assembling the heads. Now, the machine shop did a fantastic job of getting these things cleaned up. These are the Edelbrock Performer aluminum heads, and I've got all new valves, all new guides and seals and springs. So I just need to get the rocker arms put on here. They'll be ready to put on the block there. Actually, the rockers that were on this motor, and I'm reusing them because there's nothing wrong with them. Everything else is brand new. Yeah, it's gonna be a bad little motor once it's all back together. It should be just about what it was, if not a little bit better than what it was when I took it apart. So, pretty productive quarantine day. Got the heads all assembled, got the frame coated, ready for everything to go back in the engine bay. I just need to get the speedometer cable and get that swapped out. And then I'm gonna adjust the e-brake while everything's out, and I can get to stuff a whole lot easier and get that cable fixed up just a little bit tighter, and then that thing should be just fine. Everything else is working in that system. I gotta get the cooling tubes put in, so I'll probably start tearing stuff apart now, and then getting everything kind of laid out. And I'll show you guys, once I have it all laid out with the tubes and everything, I'll show you what that looks like before it goes back into the car. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and stay safe.